Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Twins Talk Arsenal. Today we're going to cover the Arsenal Slavia Prague second leg and very convincing win in the end. Andreas, what were your thoughts on the issue?
We absolutely smashed this game. It leaves you wondering, like, why we haven't been playing like this for the rest of the season. I don't understand. This is exactly how we know Arsenal can play and how we want Arsenal to play week in, week out. And this is the reason why we're 10th in the league, right? Because we have this performance one day, and then the other day we're losing 3-0 to Liverpool, and Gary Neville's going on about there being a mafia in the team that's against Arteta. Like, this is a great performance today, and we made Slavia Prague look the bang average team that they are. Right, when we play like this, we suddenly look like maybe we should be in the Champions League, but equally we can have games like we did in the first against Slavia Prague where we're awful. But look, let's just focus on today's game. We played very well. We attacked very well. We were clinical, which is something we haven't said about Arsenal all season. And another clean sheet as well. Very important game, very good game. Looking forward to the semi-finals now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think over the two legs we saw the best and the worst of Arsenal. The first leg more being the worst of Arsenal, or the worst features of Arsenal, and the second leg being the better features of Arsenal. How good Arsenal can be when they're clinical, when they have those chances and take them. And Arsenal played very well in today's game. Let's not. Arsenal played very well. We should give credit where credit's due. It was a good team performance overall. The whole forward line got on the score sheet. Lacazette got 2 goals, Pepe scored, Saka scored, and Emil Smith-Rowe technically also scored, although it was a bit unlucky, just offside ever so slightly. But it was a great attacking display from all of them. In the midfield, it was a strong performance from Thomas Partey. It controlled the midfield battle with Ceballos. Granit Xhaka had a great game at left back. Not his natural position, but he had a good game. Pablo Mari and Holding had a good game at centre back. Callum Chambers, just making his way back from injury. We're integrating him slowly into the team, but he had another good game. Leno largely untroubled in this game. Like you mentioned earlier, Slavia Prague, they are a team which they don't necessarily have the, technical capabilities that maybe a team like Barcelona or Real Madrid would have within their ranks. But, when you get to the Europa League, especially when you're in like the quarterfinals and these later stages of the competition, even if the teams haven't got that technical, quality of, Champions League teams, they play with that heart and desire to get through to the next round. And, sometimes that in itself can be enough, to go through in a tie, in a 2-legged game. You saw like when Tottenham lost to Dynamo Zagreb, from a technical perspective, Tottenham probably were the better team overall, but over the 2 legs, Dynamo Zagreb wanted it more. And, these things can happen in a 2-legged tie. So I think, obviously Arsenal should have, won this game comfortably, which we did in the end. But, you can't underestimate that heart and desire from the opposition. So at the end of the day, Arsenal had a job to do. And it's good to see that Arsenal did it, and in a convincing manner.
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna sit here and just trash your opposition, because this is Champions League opposition which beat Rangers, who are unbeaten this season, and beat Leicester as well. Like, they're not a pushover team. Leicester, who are way above us in the league at the moment, and we made them look bang average today. So well done to the players. We had a young forward lineup as well, apart from Laka. And they played really well. They made the defenders look like schoolboys. Honestly, they played amazingly well. Another strong performance from Saka out on the right. Pepe is looking more and more consistent the more and more we see him. I know people were frustrated at certain points that we weren't playing him, or frustrated with his performances, but whatever Arteta's doing with him seems to be working. He's assisting or scoring in a game by game basis at the moment, which is really great to see from him. And you're seeing his work rate as well be really high. And then Laka up top. Laka's hit the form of his career at Arsenal. Why do players hit this form when they're running out of their contract and we're looking like we're going to sell them? But yeah, just also want to say, thinking of Abba, obviously he's just been revealed that he's got malaria, so hoping he's all right. And thoughts and prayers with him. But yeah, Laka playing very well up front. We're not missing Abba, which is a big statement, and not one you think we'd be saying after last season.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, our regards go out to Abba, and hopefully he makes a swift recovery. Yeah, but from the game itself, it was a great performance. You saw the interchange between our forward line as well. It was just great. I think it was one where everyone knew their roles. There was flexibility. Players popping up in all different positions. Um, it kind of, I think Granit Xhaka kind of epitomizes Arsenal at their best as well. I know he can make like rash decisions sometimes and this and that, but you saw today it was a very disciplined performance from him. He got forward to help when he could, but he also wasn't too adventurous. He did the job he needed to do defensively during the time that he was the left back for Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, when you think of the Arsenal performance today, this is a Slavia Prague team, which I know we say, maybe the technical capacity isn't as high as Arsenal, generically speaking. But this is a team which for the last season and a half, approximately for the last year and a half, has been unbeaten at their ground. So, this was never going to be an easy game, especially after the deflation of, conceding that last minute goal in the first leg. You're drawing 1-1. You've got that mindset where you need to score. Going away from home, if you don't score, you're out basically. Arsenal did well. We had the setback. We had the early goal, which was ruled out for offside, but we kept going as a team. I think we saw, what we can score in this game. We can get a result and a convincing result. And it's good to see, that they kept playing, they kept going. We didn't stop at 1-0. We didn't stop at 2-0. We got that third goal, all important goal. And, especially once you got to 3 goals, you've got that cushion. And I'm not saying you can sit back and relax, but, it's hard for the opposition at that stage. And then we got the 4th goal later on as well.
Yeah, I mean, you did feel like we stopped pressing at 3 goals. But to be fair to the players, like, at 3-0, we kind of had the job done, like, and you can think ahead to the league a little bit by that point. But it was nice to actually have an important game that Arsenal played, which didn't go down to the wire, which a lot of our Europa League games have done. So yeah, looking forward to the next game. And also just like, I want to big up Arteta, right? Because he was getting like a lot of heat, like in the last against Liverpool, Arteta out was trending and stuff. But the choices that he made today all came off, right? Xhaka played very well as left back. I don't want to see him as left back again because he plays better in the middle of the park, and I'm not sure he's going to be good against like better opposition. But he played very well today. Pepe played very well today. Arteta had a choice between him or Martinelli, and Pepe did very well and got his goal as well. And then, Emil Smith-Rowe again ran the game, and then he took him off early enough that we can rest him and protect him, especially if we're going to be missing Odegaard for the next few games. I thought Arteta managed this game quite well. And also, Rob Holding and Pablo Mari did very well in our defence. They did so well that you basically didn't need to talk about them for the whole night. You didn't notice them because they never made a mistake, right? And that was, again, a big decision. Are you going to play Mari? Are you going to play Gabriel? So I think Arteta got a lot of things right tonight. And hopefully he can keep doing that right up until the final.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you saw with Gabriel, we all know he's a good defender, and definitely he'll be a great defender in the future for Arsenal. But what we saw in the first leg of the Slavia Prague game was, to an extent, a bit of a worse side of Gabriel. He was a bit rash in some of his challenges. He was a bit at fault for their goal in the build up to their goal. You saw against Liverpool the mistake that Gabriel made where, he tries to tackle Salah. It's not strong enough to tackle. And basically Salah ends up through 1-on-1 as a result. So I think Gabriel hasn't had the best, past few weeks for the club. So I think, it was a good decision by Arteta to take him out of the limelight and, give him a bit of a breather, let him kind of, regather himself, so to speak, and then to come back stronger. Because we all know he's a great player, but he's young. He's going to have moments of inconsistencies. It's natural, and it's in those moments that you need to take him out of the spotlight, protect him a little bit, and kind of rebuild, so to speak. And it's same with Martinelli. He's a great player. He's going to have a big future with the club, etc. But he's just come back from a long-term injury. We need to protect him. We don't want to play him week in, week out, and then 2-3 weeks down the line he gets another season-ending injury. Out for another 6 months, 9 months, etc. It's better to bring him on in games. He might regain the match fitness a little slower, but if we can keep him fit, that's the priority.
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think Arteta is maybe haunted a little bit by playing in Arsene Wenger's Arsenal. Not that they were bad, right? I mean, they were finishing 4th in the Champions League, but you had people at the time saying you never win anything with kids, right? At the time that Arteta was playing for Arsenal. And I think that was maybe in the back of his mind when he chose to play Pepe ahead of Martinelli. Because, I mean, if you pick Martinelli, suddenly you've got Emil Smith-Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, all in the same team.
All teenagers.
A must win. Yeah. So I kind of get why he chose to go for experience. But again, I'm also glad that we didn't play Willian today. The guy just doesn't, in the game where we needed goals, Willian's got no goals the whole season. And he's leading our assists, but to be honest, that says more about the amount of goals Arsenal scored rather than how good Willian's been. So
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think Arteta made the right decisions today. Stas, what do you think about playing Villareal and Unai Emery in the next round? I just want to say, I actually think, right, we're playing a very good Spanish team that is managed by a guy who has a reason to really want to hurt Arsenal based on how the fans treated him and how the players treated him before he left. And we're playing against a manager who's the best manager in the history of this competition and knows how to win it. I'm not scared, but this is going to be a hard game. Arsenal are going to need to, we can't just turn up for one leg in this game. We need to turn up on both legs to get through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong, it will be a very tough game. We know that Emery is a very tactical coach, from his time at Arsenal and obviously beforehand as well with Seville, PSG, etc. But we saw, as good as Emery can be, we've also obviously seen, how, so to speak, how bad he can be. There's instances where he gets the tactics wrong and this and that. And, he's done a very good job at Villareal so far. Don't get me wrong, he has done a good job there. But it will be, another step, so to speak, when they face us. What I would say, it's a very tough one, but it's always going to be tough. It's the semi-final. Whoever we faced, it would be a tough game. And the key issue for me is the Arsenal players themselves. Will they turn up like they did in the second leg, today's game, like they want to win, like they want to get to that final and win that trophy? If they do, we've got more than a sufficient chance of, winning the first leg and obviously the second leg as well, and then getting through to the final. If they, turn up like we did in the first leg against Slavia Prague, where we're very lackluster, we're not clinical, we're not taking our chances. In that instance, Villareal are definitely going to give us a run for our money. And, it's going to be hard for us to get through to the final. So yeah. I think the key thing is, which Arsenal team will turn up. We all know how good Arsenal can be. And Arsenal on their day can beat Villareal. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But Arsenal need to be on their day over both legs. And, we need to get over the line and get the job done. That's the key priority.
Yeah, I agree. I was speaking to my partner. And when I came back, I was like, oh, yeah, Arsenal won 4-0. And she was like, oh, weren't you worried about the game? And that's exactly it. You're not surprised that Arsenal won 4-0, but you also wouldn't have been surprised if we lost 2-3-0. We're so inconsistent this season, and it just depends on what Arsenal turns up, how we do. If anything, it's beneficial for us when we have results over 2 legs, because it means we can mess up one of them and kind of come back and re-perform in the second one. The final is obviously 90 minutes. We have to just settle it then and there. But yeah, hopefully we can get a good result now. I don't want us to slip up in the league, like just to bin that off and just focus on the Europa League, because for me, momentum has always existed across competitions, right? You can't just lose in the league and then pretend that didn't happen and go back to winning in the Europa League. Like, we need to keep that momentum going now. So I want to see like a strongish team against Fulham. You know, if we get 1 or 2 goals, then take players off and rest them early, but get the win there, push ahead in the league as well, and get the ball rolling so that momentum can carry us through. And hopefully, yeah, a couple of good wins under our belt and a couple more clean sheets will really do this team a lot of good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think with the quality in the team, in theory, we do have the kind of capacity or the capability to rest a few players if needed. Um, but that's something I would do if the players are kind of in the red zone, if they're needing a rest, and obviously fair enough. But I do agree. I think we shouldn't be resting the players for the sake of it. Momentum is a valuable thing, and we do need to build it. We haven't really built it up all season. We've been far too inconsistent in the league and even in the various different cup competitions. So it is something that Arsenal need to build on, and it's something, wins breed confidence. So if we can get a few more wins under our belt before the semi-finals, it will hold us in good stead for both of those ties.
Yeah, I agree. Is there anything else you want to cover?
No, not really. I think it'll be a very tough game against a very good Villareal side over 2 legs. It will be a very tactical game, a very tight game, I think. But yeah, no, hopefully we have Aubameyang back. Hopefully we have Odegaard back, and hopefully Arsenal can turn up and give a good account for ourselves.
Yeah, prayers and wishes to Abba, and great performance by the boys tonight. Good win. Let's enjoy it while we can until the weekend. But until then, guys, thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, please feel free to like, comment, and if you're new around here, subscribe as well. We'll be back again for the Fulham game. But until then, up the Arsenal. See you later, everyone.